64 players started out in this Pro Series. No easy matches right from the off. And these two have really served up a feast of pool over the course of the last day and a half. Pro Series 7 final. Chris Melling takes on John Chambers. Mark Shepherd and Tony Holgate with you for this match. A match that hasn't seemed like it was that likely for either of the players at one stage. Chris Melling so nearly lost in his first round match, had to come through a 6-road shootout. John Chambers so nearly lost in his semi-final, had to come through a 6-road shootout. But these two players have both played some phenomenal pool en route to this final. Chris Melling coming into this final looking to continue an impressive run and a record that only he can continue, which is to win a professional event in every season of Ultimate Pool. He's won in 2021, he's won in 2022, 23 and 24. He's got 3 events left in 2025. Can he add a piece of silverware and continue that 5-year run? We watched him play Josh Kane earlier, Tony, and I think that would have to go down as the match of the weekend. Such quality from both of them.
I didn't enjoy it. I thought it was a terrible game. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. 𝗏𝗁𝗃𝗀𝗃 aside, it was a fabulous match. And to be fair, the Chambers-Liam White game, you know what I mean, that was 5-star as well. Went right down to the wire. Matt Ward, our referee for this final. Chris Melling, just cleaning the side of the table. So, race to 8. The magician breaking off with this cut break that he has deployed. That is a wonderful break from Chris Melling to start this final.
This is John Chambers' 4th final of the season. Yet to get his hands on any silverware, but really for a first-year pro on Ultimate Pool, not a first-year pro in the sense of just turning professional, it's just in terms of joining Ultimate Pool, but still, whoever you are, if you're new to the conditions, 4 finals, what a record.
Red ball's in play.
Well, the promise that this final has, will it live up to the big billing? I think it will.
Yeah, it's so box office, isn't it? Chris Melling is just the ultimate crowd draw. Like, as soon as he comes to the table, a big crowd have been appearing, even his earlier matches, particularly for that 6-red yesterday. People who didn't seem to be in the room will just turn up at the same time. Everyone wants to watch this guy. And John Chambers, very popular finalist. So you know him well, very well liked and well respected as a player.
Yeah, well, I used to play against both of them, to be fair, and obviously tremendous talented player, John Chambers. Back in the old 3PO days. It's around, well, that was going from the very, very start.
John must have been pretty young back in those days.
Yeah, he was 6. No, it was around 2006. I returned to the 3PO. Played for a couple of years there before hanging up my cue. But John was at the forefront of that, and his brother Rob. The likes of Andy Lucas as well. Some big-time players, Ross McInnes. Melling swiftly going through the reds. Wants to lay down his marker from the outset. Well, it's a tricky 8-ball. Up into the top left for Melling. Resets himself. Maybe a bit of movement in the crowd. There are plenty of people out there tonight.
Yeah, not something you see very often. But
no, you just heard the referee there just say for the crowd to settle a bit. I think people are actually still moving in.
Oh, what a piece of cueing.
Fabulous start from Melling.
That was a good black, wasn't it? That's going to define the match. If he'd have somehow missed that, that could have really changed things, but never looked like missing. John Chambers knows he's in for a tough night. Chris Melling needs absolutely no introduction. Knows what he's going to get from him.
He wants to continue his run.
I mean, it is a record, isn't it?
Fabulous.
He's so consistent. He's not the outright winner of most number of titles. Surprising nobody, that record belongs to Tom Cousins. Chris has missed a couple of events this season, so he's slipped down. He slipped down to 12 in the rankings, which seems almost incredible. This should help him reset back up to where he belongs in the top few.
Yeah, the couple of early round defeats as well. Lost to Jimmy Croxton at Bolton. Jimmy, though, playing very well now in the last year or so.
Yeah,
took out Tom Cousins as well.
I was about to say exactly that. He's had a good weekend. In fact, Chris beat Jimmy en route to this final, but yeah, Jimmy's made amends in the second event of the weekend. So first look at the Chambers break. The obvious thing to say, but John just needs to keep pace with Chris. Doesn't want him running off into the sunset. Wants to be making as many first visit chances of his own as he can. Well, in that semi-final to come back into it, there was a moment Liam was a couple of frames ahead, but John dug in. Force that 6 red.
Yeah, some incredible finishes at the end of that match as well. Just wants to run this red into the bottom left. Cue ball just tickles forward. Black ball right centre.
Ooh.
He dug a bit then. Obviously, even if he didn't potter that ball, he was in no man's land on the black ball.
Yeah, it looked so easy on the cue through the rest of that clearance, but that was just a slightly nervy one. It's not left an easy table for Chris.
No, but you sit there and you watch the first frame rattled off by Chris and watch him pot that black ball, and it's in the back of your mind thinking, if I miss, this fella's not going to miss anything. And I just wonder if that just crept in, playing the man.
Considered a couple of options at the bottom of the table, but decided he better just go with the safe one of potting the loose ball. So he got the problem with the 2 balls on the right-hand side.
Is he eyeing up the skill shot?
Yeah.
No.
He eyed it up, but decided that would be too risky.
Oh dear.
Oh goodness, how has he ended up there?
Well, I think he tried to take out the red ball there.
Yeah, he did. That's an unbelievable result. With only 1 ball on the table you could possibly end up snookered behind, and he's fall behind it. He's a genius at potting balls from these kind of snookers, but anything short of potting this yellow over the right centre, and he's going to lose this frame.
That's not going in. John Chambers is going to get a second bite of the cherry, and a nice easy one as well. He's pulled that cue ball way, way back.
Good 8-ball in the end. Very relieved to get a second chance there. It was a tricky position that Chris came to the table in, but you would have expected him to do a little bit more, perhaps. Either way, 1-1 in this race to 8. So both players settled down now into the final. John's brother Rob, also an Ultimate Pool pro. He's in the crowd cheering his brother on. Can it be fourth time lucky for Rob Chambers? He's been in the final of the Champions League already. It's been in the final of a couple of other big pro events, including the entertaining Last Man Standing, where he came up short against Bill Harrison. In fact, the 3 players he's lost to in the finals, Declan Brennan, Phil Harrison and Tom Cousins. It's not like he's been giving away any of those finals.
Looked a bit softer, that break from Melling. Dry.
Yeah, that's not something you hear very often.
Yellows look very, very nicely placed as well.
Yellow balls in play.
Chambers doesn't mess about either at the table. We know Chris is so quick when he gets round there, but John as well. He's a super fast player.
Yeah, I mean, that's why it's such a great final, isn't it? There's two likeable guys, 2 guys that play the game in the right way. Because Chris is so fast, everybody else by comparison doesn't look quite the same, but yeah, you're right. Really gets on with the game. A little bit between options here.
Can you just run this in and get on the yellow into the bottom right? Get on it in the middle.
It looks simple. Just run the cue ball forward a few inches towards the 8-ball. Doesn't need to get right behind it.
Very nicely done by John Boy. One to Chambers.
Oh, nicely done indeed. Could have lost the previous frame, didn't, and now he's really kicked on.
His break as well.
So what it takes sometimes, dry break from Melling. I feel like Melling fancies it. He's been in good form all weekend. He's one of those players that can be a bit hot and cold. Like, clearly his best is better than pretty much anyone on the planet. Does occasionally lose a match that he shouldn't because he plays the game in a fairly open way. This weekend he's looked very focused on the task in hand. John just steadying himself. The referee Matt Ward racks up the balls. Pretty brisk start, as you'd expect. Less than 9 minutes played, 3 frames completed already.
Very chunky break there from John. Plenty of power in it, and that's a really good split once again.
Yeah, he's really given that the treatment, hasn't he? just kind of eased himself through it. He hasn't recklessly thrown his body at it, but he's just got a lot of power behind.
Yellow balls in play.
Well, one thing you can definitely say, he's not fazed by the occasion. He started off really well in this final.
He's played too many years to be fazed by an occasion. This boy can play. And this is absolutely fabulous for people to watch. I mean, the speed that both these players go through the balls, incredible. And this 3-1. John Chambers rising to the occasion.
Two first-time winners on the tour this season. Cole Bedford winning the British Open. Aaron Davis winning the first Pro Series event. And quite a few new finalists, of which John has already won. Can he add his name to the winners roster? Going to be a kind of different story. Aaron Davis, you feel like had really earned that title over a body of work for 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗏. He's been a really consistent performer for 3 or 4 years leading up to that. John's obviously put his time in other series, but he's coming to 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗏 and it's just right from day one been a tournament contender.
Again, he's got such a great attitude towards the game. You know, he embraces everything around him. There's no negativity. It's just, I'm here to play pool. I want to enjoy it, embrace the game, embrace ultimate pool, and he's a fabulous ambassador for the game. What a player. Chris makes a ball. Look at all those balls at the top right-hand side of the table.
That's crazy, isn't it? There's only 2 balls left at the bottom of the table. The rule is 3 need to cross the centre of the table to be a valid break.
Like
Chris has managed to get 12 over the line.
Yeah.
As a result, it's not actually the best layout because there's got so many balls clustered at the top of the table. It's going to have to be reds.
Red balls in play.
Does he try and dissect this with a bit of precision, or does he just mash into this area and just try and spring everything out?
Yeah, he's a precision man with these shots, but he will play this at pace. No, he won't.
I may wish that he had.
Yeah, a bit of a scratch of the head there.
It's one of those ones, because there's so many balls in there, you can end up sort of going into that kind of cluster and nothing really moves that much. Didn't actually get a very full contact anyway, as it happens. Well, this is an interesting situation. Does John want to do anything about that cluster up there, or does he want to leave Chris to do something about it? This is about as different a frame as you can imagine from the 4 that have come before, which have all been pretty open. Well, he does try going in with pace, but
He'll
doesn't
go
quite
in
get
again. He will go undeterred. He's got an angle on the yellow there, near the bolt line. Very risky.
Well, that's the thing. He's got to be careful because the black's right in that mix, and if you just smash in, you don't quite know where it's going.
If he can go into the gap of those 2 yellows, they'll push the reds in. And it's exactly what he did. Not come out great for him though.
No, Good news, bad news. One ball's come out that can be played along the top cushion, but the other two not looking so good. And also, the red's now in better shape, so it's not really a free hit here. So, pot one successfully negotiated. Now comes to survey the situation. How does he open up the balls at the top of the table? Trying to play the loss of turn.
Yep.
Loss of turn.
Not bad. I mean, where can Chris go? Pot-wise or safety-wise?
Yeah, you can consider a containing safety where he just jails the yellow, but that's just so against his nature. Plus, it just kind of stores the problem up for later. Attacking option's not good from here.
Right, can he play red ball into the cushion, into that yellow, that half ball, and kick the red back into the top left-hand corner? He's looking. Ooh. So going that way, can he get across to the middle? I think he's looking at the bottom left-hand corner. You see where he's aiming? The half ball into the yellow. The red then hits that cushion. I don't think he can get it in the middle. I think he's trying to go down to the bottom left. It's gone for the middle. Oh. I didn't even think he could get it across that far. Great effort. Great imagination, as always.
Yeah, the crowd, and it's a big crowd, assembled for this match, being treated to some creative pool as well as some good quality pool from these players. Job's not done for John, but he's in a much better position than he was a couple of shots ago. Still seems to be an important point in the match. Chance for John to open up a 3-frame lead here, which is big, whoever you are.
Going to play the cut up the rail now. Huge shot here for Chambers. That's in. It's perfect. Has he got the right side? Can he screw straight back? He can. It's going to be 4-1.
Very good bit of cueing. That ball up the rail was effectively frame ball. Landed so nicely on it. We'd have to weather a moment where it looked like Chris was going to pull out a Melling special, but in the end, John Chambers opens up the 3-frame lead. 4-1 now, halfway to the winning post of 8. Looking good at the moment. They're both looking good at the moment. Really just a question of who's going to get the chances. Neither of them typically have many dry breaks, but it could be a dry break or two that settles the match. It's a dry break from Chris that let John open up the lead in the first place. Very focused as he sits in his chair. Needs to find a way into this match, needs to get a chance. You're never super comfortable in a final, but it's about as comfortable as he could be as he steps up to break in frame 6. Played with so much power, a bit unlucky there. Had the cue ball coming back in a straight line, just caught a cannon that he didn't want. Look how hard he hits this. Cue balls in completely safe territory and then just cannoned on and off the top cushion into the middle pocket. And that is what Chris Melling really needed. 4-1 down, comes to the table with ball in hand, Decent position for a clearance. Can pop this ball bottom left. Gentle cannon into the 8-ball. If he managed to sneak just inside the 8-ball, it would have been better to make the cannon as it happens, but it doesn't really make too much difference. And in less than a minute, he's going to pull back one of the 3 frames he needs to catch up. And the in off the break does prove costly for John Chambers. Chris Melling steps up and pulls out a quick 8-ball clearance.
Didn't he just need that?
It's definitely what was required from a neutral perspective to get the scores back a bit closer together. It's going to be the Melling break next. Still a break of serve behind, but it's got it back to a more manageable gap. See there, big crowd, no seats to be had immediately around the table, people crowding around to watch from some of the other parts of the arena.
Never ever going to be a quiet gathering for this final. The match everybody wanted to see tonight. Chris Melling, hand in the love heart. That's his usual posture when sat in the seat.
So the referee hands him the ball. 4-2 down. Chris Melling to break in frame 7.
It's going to be dry. Reds, they look the order of the day. Bit of a cluster of them down at the bottom left, but they can be worked around. Yeah, disappointment on the face of Chris Melling.
Yeah, red's the preferred colour and also a nice easy starter.
Right, I mean, you've got that awkward yellow that's just sat in that cluster, but you can bash that out of there, or you can play off. There's a plant there. You can play the red off the yellow and make the plant and get the yellow out of there, I think. Oh, we don't want to get too close to that. Oh, he can go in the middle. He's okay.
Well, close as he come to ending up tucked in behind that red. Just able to get through to the pot to the middle.
Well, he can play the plant, and the second red now will hit that yellow and kick it away from the bottom rail. So if he plays the inside red, play the plant, second red kicks the yellow away, opens up that pocket. Needed to hit that harder. He might still be okay. Well, I thought he would have gone in with a bit of power there. Got the yellow right out of the way, those 3 reds.
Still got the top ball to go after, which was going to save him here.
This match is being played at a blistering pace.
Extension call.
Can either flick into the yellow, or I think if he misses it altogether, he will be able to get through to the putting angle of the red. Loading it with a bit of right-hand side.
He's okay. He can just snip this into the corner. This is huge. If he can get this finish and then go and break and dish 6-2, that's a massive lead.
So, black down, John Chambers completes the clearance, opens up a 3-frame lead, 5 frames to 2. Chris Melling has played some good stuff in this match, but he's being kept in his chair. 2 dry breaks so far, proving costly. 3 more frames needed to get his hands on the trophy. Chris Melling's been in this position so many times in his career. One of the masters at closing out a final. He's lost in a few finals though in the Ultimate Pool era. He's had 5 runners-up spots already, 6 titles. Amazing, isn't it? 12th Ultimate Pool final across a 5-year period. Well, across 5 seasons, barely more than 4 years since the first event. Win or lose, this should kick-start his season. This is already the best run he's had in 2025. John Chambers, a bit unlucky in his last break. In-off that wasn't his fault, but otherwise has been breaking really well in this match. Lots of power. White safe this time. But has he posted a ball? Yes, a yellow's gone down.
Work to be done here for John Chambers.
Amazing pace of play, isn't it? Only 20 minutes of the match down. 7 frames completed already. That included 1 more tactical frame. The rest of it's been really quick.
There's 2 yellows beneath the black ball. Oh. It could have been worse.
Extension full.
Flirting with the right centre.
Had to, though, to get position on this one down into the bottom left.
Got to be delighted with the start he's got off to in this match.
Well, this is huge now. This yellow into the top right-hand corner. Nothing really to do with the cue. We'll just don't let it run anywhere. He'll have the black in the right centre. So it's just all about this yellow ball. Makes this pot, and it's 6-2. Oh, he's got it. Fabulous. A man on a mission, John Chambers, and there's his brother Rob. Getting very excited now for his bro. John Chambers 2 away.
It's been pushed hard on the way to this final, but what a performance he's turned up with in the final. Like Chris Melling, could have lost right in the first round. 6-5 against 𝗨𝗃𝗃𝗏. Difficult match he came through there. Another tough match in the last 32. 8-5 against Christy Caulfield. 8-6 against Josh 𝗍𝗂 in the last 16. 8-6 against Chris Day in the quarterfinals. 7-all and a 6-red shootout against Liam White in the semis. So he's played some pool this week. It's been pushed and pushed, but this could, if he carries on at this pace, actually be the most comfortable match of the weekend. But then the man sitting in the chair opposite, he's going to have a bit to say about that. Chris Melling is not going down without a fight in this final.
It's the breaks. He can't get a ball.
20 by 6 runs to 2.
change back to the head ball break. Melling makes that yellow ball into the middle bag, and my word, did he need that ball to drop. That's okay. He has an angle on this yellow at the bottom of the table, so he can still go into that little cluster. It's fine. No panic yet for Chris. Goes into the cluster now by that middle bag. Kicks them all out. He didn't waste any time playing it softly. He made sure they were coming out into the open. But now he's just left himself a tricky pot. Shake it ahead.
Yeah, just one pot away from being in good position here.
He's also one miss away from maybe losing the final completely, because, again, Chambers, if he was to clear up after a Melling mistake, he's got the break the next frame. But now Chris is in prime position, and you'd expect this now to be 6-3.
As well as John's played, 6-2 is a relatively flattering scoreline, born from Chris's struggles on the break. John certainly very good value for the lead, though.
But John Chambers will be mindful of how quick Melling can turn a match round.
6-3 now, still not halfway through the match in terms of time, so loads of match clock still available. What may or may not be available for Chris is opportunities at the table. Can he get his break going? Went with the cut break last time, a break that he used to counsel strongly against. He never seemed much of a fan of it, but seems to have adopted it of late.
Well, that one was head ball then. He switched back, courtesy of the two dry ones he's had with the cut break in his final. But it is Chambers to break. He now needs John to help him. Dry breaks or fouls off breaks, because Chambers is not missing anything.
So 2 away from victory. John Chambers steps up in frame 10. This break's been super reliable so far. One unlucky and off, but he's done what he needed to do, which is to hit the pack really hard. Ooh, flirting with the corner pocket. Could that be what Chris needs? A dry break from John Chambers, a rare moment. Seemed to hit those pretty well.
It's amazing how these matches turn. Melling's been 3 frames behind in previous matches. This was 4 behind as well. See, it was 𝗪𝗓𝗔. Had a dry break just when he had the match won pretty much. What he wanted was a ball. We also saw it with Josh Kane. Josh Kane missed 1 ball in that match, but that dry break came at the wrong time. And Melling pounced like a caged tiger. But this time he's been 4 behind.
Generally impervious to pressure. Still going to need the chances, but he's not somebody that's just going to fall over because he's a few frames behind.
Quite apparent he slowed down a bit.
Yeah, he knows the importance, doesn't he?
Well, yeah, because he gets this one and it's his break next, and all of a sudden you could be 6-5. That's a great shot. Super, super control. Down onto that bottom yellow.
You can feel the tension, can't you? It's just not quite as relaxed as some of the really quick clearances we've seen. Just making absolutely sure.
And he's just sped up now because he's in prime position. Wrong side of this last yellow. Can't just run this in. He's going to have to come down the table, back up again. He wants to come in a very straight line off this rail. He might even punch this in a low to right-hand side so the 𝗡𝗃𝗏 comes into the bottom rail, spins over to the left-hand cushion, and comes back past the black and has the black in the same pocket as his yellow.
That's what he's done.
How about that?
Well, that was a harder shot than it needed to be because he'd slipped the wrong side of the last yellow. But what a great clearance he completes in the end. What was a 4-frame lead now reduced to 2. But he's still behind. John Chambers with a 6-4 lead going into the second half of this match.
Melling to break. Will he stay with the head ball break, or will he switch back to that cut break? I think he stays with the head ball. It was successful last time.
Surely he has to. He's got such a powerful break. I think if he was to lose by cut breaking, it would just seem like the wrong thing to have done.
It will, because then he'll never hear the last of it from me.
He's always telling us that he takes a lot of power off the break. He may need to add a bit more on.
If I was him now at this point, I'd have a happy Gilmore run-up.
Thank you.
Never mind control now with the cue ball. It's all about power. Balls off the break.
Wow, it's made a ball.
I'll tell you what, that yellow's just come and saved him.
Yeah,
It's giving him a shot, because if you look at the start of this, where that cue ball finished and those two reds came across, it looked like he was going to be glued with nothing at all. And then that yellow's just come across and given him a shot, so he can just drop this in and play the yellow into the left-hand centre straight after it. Someone's shaking their head there.
Yeah, it seems okay, doesn't it? Let's take the ball to the centre.
Play the yellow just beneath the black ball next. Natural angle for the keyboard to come round. From 6-2 to 6-5. This is looking very likely indeed. It's amazing, this game. You can't relax at 6-2 up, can you? It's nonsense. You want to have a rest and think, well, I've got a nice breather now, 4 frames in front.
Yeah, there was only a brief moment where John would have been remotely relaxed. He's definitely not going to be any more.
He's dropped short here. Did not want to be bridging over this ball. Oh, great shot from Chris. Really, really well played. Super cueing.
Yeah, much better than it looked, that shot.
6-5. This final is absolutely bubbling.
Well, at 6-2 up, John Chambers would have thought he'd got off to a good start. He'd have known the job wasn't done, though. Chris Melling finally finds a way into the match. 3 frames in a row, just the 1-frame lead now. And as John Chambers readies himself to break in this 12th frame, the weight of the world must be starting to come on him. He still looks very calm.
Well, again, he's just had a dry break, hasn't he? Chris Melling started breaking addition. Gone to the head ball, break some pots balls.
John's just got to carry on doing what he's been doing. His break's been really good. He doesn't want to change it. He doesn't need to add power to it. He just needs to repeat what he's done successfully through the first part of this match. Time still not an issue. 20 minutes remaining on the match clock, so it's just a question of who gets to 8 first.
Forget 6 red shootouts in this final. You've got no chance.
Well, he doesn't carry on what he's doing. He's moved to the cut break as well.
Yeah, look who's changed to the cut break. Oh, look at these. Take your pick.
I'm a bit surprised, given that his previous break had been going well. One dry break, and that's enough to abandon it.
There's a case of both colours that they're both equally available.
Extension call.
Yeah, it's just those 2 yellows next to the red, isn't it?
But I think they go. I think the right-hand side one goes into the bottom right corner. So I think if I was him, I'd try and screw down for it now if you can just get back enough. That's very handy off the angle of the pocket. So the higher one goes into this bottom right, and you can sit on the other one into the bottom left. What a chance this is to get on the hill. Nothing Chris Melling can do about this. John Boy. If he could squeeze that cue ball through the gap of those reds and get onto that yellow in the middle of the table. Like that. Maybe come a little bit further than he would have liked. But he can just run this in. The reds to the right of him, they act as a buffer to hold the cue ball. Oh, John Chambers. Well, he's certainly picked his time to miss one.
Yeah, that's been the first real sort of silly miss in open play that we've seen.
The wry smile there from John. He knows that was a chance to get on the hill.
And Chris also knows he's a master at understanding the psychology of the game. He knows that his opponent's starting to feel the pressure. Hard to see where a miss would come from on these reds.
This is going to hurt John as well, because Chris takes these out. It's Chris's break next. And all of a sudden, from us witnessing John Chambers about to get on the hill, he's fell over, slipped on the grass just before the hill, slid down it, and Chris Melling is about to pull level. Lovely control. Melling is starting to buzz.
And what was a 4-frame lead at one point looks like it's about to be eliminated altogether. Not the best shot onto the black, but still no problem for Chris.
Well, he'd take it after the start of this rack.
This ball for 6-all. And it's down. What a clearance from Chris Melling under utmost pressure. Needed a miss from his opponent. John Chambers was in first in that frame. He had a chance to go 7-5 ahead. He now has to content himself with playing a best-of-3 for this Pro Series title. 12 frames played. The scores are tied at 6 apiece.
Now down to a best-of-3 for the championship. Event 7 Ultimate Pool Pro Series.
It's tough to pick a winner at the beginning. Now a best-of-3. Doesn't matter who you are, any of the pros. Wouldn't be a massive favourite against anybody else over this kind of distance. Generally in this kind of spot you favour the person that's come from behind. They're the one with the momentum.
Yeah, Chris's tail is certainly up. And it is the man from Yorkshire to break off frame number 13. He's gone back to the cut break, and he's been successful twice breaking from the front. Incredible. If he goes dry here, which he hasn't, wow. Oh, look at the split on yellows.
Yeah, not only has he not gone dry, but what a chance this is.
Monster break. Look at the concern on his face until the yellow went in.
Yellow balls in play.
He is the comeback king of this event. More comebacks than Lazarus.
Extension call.
Even Chris Melling, though, taking an extra second just to make absolutely sure. A one-frame lead's going to be massive here. All the pressure's going to be on John.
Just drops this yellow in at the top. Lands on the bolt line. A little bit further than he would have liked there. Bolt line was nice. Just a bit more angle than he wanted.
Yeah, you can see that's why he's paused.
But this is okay. He's not going to be too greedy here. I think he just screwed the cue ball back. Doesn't want to be on the rail.
How would you like this shot for 7-6?
Sublime cueing once again from Chris Melling. He's on the hill from 6-2 and sat in oblivion. He was in the departure lounge. He had his boarding card ready. But somebody snatched it off him and said, no, you're not going anywhere. And back he has come. Leads 7-6, one away from keeping that record going of always winning a pro event with Ultimate Pool every season.
Well, what a situation facing John Chambers. He could not have played better in the first part of this match.
He'll be replaying that yellow that he missed over and over again in his head, the one he missed to get on the hill. The only way to wipe away that memory is to break now, pot balls, clear the table.
John Chambers steps up to break in frame 14. This will be his final break of the match, regardless of the outcome.
And how fast has this match gone?
Incredible. 35 minutes played,
It's
13
dry.
frames.
It is dry. He went to that cut break there and he didn't hit it very hard.
Well, I have to say, I'm not entirely clear why either player have gone to the cut break. Their front ball break seems pretty good.
Yeah. Just goes to show what goes on in players' minds, even at the highest level. So Melling, the yellows are the ball. He's going to probably play the thin cut into the bottom right. And if he can kick into that red ball, where the two are stuck together beneath the black, it could open everything up here for Melling. It's just a thin cut into the bottom right. He didn't get the nudge. I think he was expected to just flick into that red, and it's still there.
This isn't as easy a clearance as the last one.
No.
Does this yellow go past the red, or is he playing for the double?
No, I think it might sneak past. He looked at the last angle, thought he was very close to the red. Oh, that has gone very bad for Chris.
Yeah, he's going to have to leave that yellow behind, which is the last thing he wants to do.
I'll tell you what, I don't know if he's got the angle here, but he can cut that yellow into the top right. Can he get the cue ball to go into the cushion just before that left-hand middle bag with a bit of side maybe, and try and spin down and go into it?
Oh, he's digging right down.
He's not played to do it.
Has he played for the gap here? Is he playing for the gap to the right of the 8 ball, or is he just playing for the balls at the top of the table?
Right, goes off the red in the centre. That's what he's looking at. He's just going to play position on it. What he might do is just play onto the, or take the 2 yellows at the top, get the cue ball right down to the bottom of the table, and try and play the yellow off the red into the centre. Doesn't want too much angle here. Ooh. I think that's too much, you know.
Wow, has he landed on it though?
Wow. There's no way in the world he's played to be there.
Oh, how close is that?
Didn't play to be there. He overhit the one before. So, a chance for John Chambers to make this a hill-hill match.
Hot this ball, cannon the ball over the right middle.
He'll be feeling a bit rusty. He hasn't had a go at the table since he missed that yellow. Not a clear pot.
Yeah, he's showing very few signs of nerves apart from that one twitched ball. He's got to be feeling it here, surely.
He's not landed ideal either. That's a great pot. But where's the cue ball going?
Where's the cue ball going?
Oh,
it's just stopped in time.
Heart in mouth time there for John Chambers.
It's not out of the woods though. He can put the ball down the rail, but he's not going to be able to get prime position.
I think he can screw straight back.
Yeah, that's just okay, isn't it?
Yeah. Straight back into the side rail. That's perfect.
I tell you what, under the pressure of the situation, this is going to be an unbelievable clearance.
This is a massive show of character from John Chambers. Fabulous. Have to say, really under the cosh, John Chambers delivers. It is hill-hill, and this match deserves the recognition. And there's Rob Chambers, John's brother, applauding. And these 2 players have put on some show in this final.
This has been simply brilliant. Almost 40 minutes played, 14 frames completed, most of which have been of the highest quality. Seen an amazing display of shot making from both players. Amazing composure under pressure.
Stone-faced Melling. It's him to break.
Even Melling, you can see breathing a bit deeper, just trying to steady himself.
John can do nothing. All he can do is sit there and hope. Hope Melling goes dry or goes in off.
Both players can be very proud of their performance here.
Yep, the customary handshake. 7-all, a 1-frame decider for the title. Chris the Magician Melling versus John Boy Chambers. 1 frame. It's all come down to this. And here we go.
Sticking with the cut break.
That's a really good break. Oh.
Oh, and look at this layout.
Oh, my word. John must be looking at that thinking, that's the end of that.
Often in a deciding frame, the balls seem to come out awkward, but these could not have come out better.
Smiling. And there they are.
Yellow balls in play.
5 yellows and the black ball for Chris Melling to keep that run going of always winning an Ultimate Pool title in every season since Ultimate Pool began. He's the only man that can keep it going, the only one that's done it. There you hear the bell. We're down to 15 seconds a shot, which will make no difference to Chris Melling whatsoever. It's in full flow. He probably plays on about 8 seconds, maybe less. But it is the deciding frame in a Pro Tour final. And you've got to feel for John Chambers. He's put on such a show in this whole tournament. He's been absolutely fabulous. But it is going to be Chris Melling. One shot, get the cue ball past that black ball, and it is going to be Chris Melling to take this title in what a final we have witnessed, Mark.
What a simply brilliant performance from Chris Melling. 24 years on from when he won his first world title, still doing it at the top of the game. His 12th appearance in an Ultimate Pool Pro final. He wins his 7th Ultimate Pool title. Carries on the magic run, winning every year of Ultimate Pool 2021, 22, 23, 24, and now 2025. Chris Melling prevails over John Chambers in one of the highest quality finals we have ever witnessed. John Chambers did absolutely everything there. He fought his way into a big lead. He fought his way back onto level terms. But ultimately, Chris Melling is your Pro Series 7 champion for 2025.
Well, it's obviously very, very special and obviously very emotional for you, especially for you to have family here as well. Let's get you the trophy so you can celebrate. Remember, you've got a 9 o'clock match as well, though, as well. Let's bring out Tournament Director Mark Pickworth to hand out the trophy to our champion, Chris Melling. It really has been a very special performance here, not just from Chris, but from all the players. The entertainment in this event has been absolutely incredible. Brilliant performance from Chris in the final. The good news is we get to do it all again tomorrow. Pro Series 8 is on its way, Women's Pro Series 8 as well. We still have 2 matches going in the Challenger Series, 2 Challenger finals happening right now on tables 2 and 3. Go and check those out if you want to. But here on the main table, we'll say goodbye for now and leave you with pictures of Chris Melling.